has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth. But we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a new estate for Darkest Dungeon with me, your host Tim. Yep, today the DLC for Darkest Dungeon, The Crimson Court, was released. I've spent the past almost 5 hours now getting my mod to work with it, and things seem to be running correctly. What we're going to do now is start up a new estate from week 0 all the way up until we finally beat the Darkest Dungeon again. This will give me a chance to test my mod, make sure it's working correctly, look at all the new awesome stuff Red Hook has released, do any tweaking I think needs to be done in order for how my mod continue to be well balanced, and we'll be set to go. So, really quick, I'm just going to check on my voice really fast. Okay, things are sounding good. So, right, we're going to talk about Darkest Dungeon and the LUNM mod for just maybe 5 minutes here, and you can skip this by going down below to the comments section, where I will have a timestamp posted down there, and you can click on that timestamp to be brought to where I actually begin a campaign and we name our estate, and then we get on out there. So the LUNM mod, I think I mentioned it, was a mod of my own design, which I worked on for just about over a year, back when this game was out in beta, right after the Corpse and Hound patch came out. I've been maintaining the mod to work with all the recent patches. It is an overhaul mod, so it tweaks all the monsters, or most of them. It adds more stress. It makes the characters a little stronger in some aspects, a little weaker in others. I buffed some of the skills or rebalanced how the economy worked in the game. And what else have I done? I changed the amount of money quests give you, changed where you can get certain, what are they called? Oh, darn it. The crests, busts, deeds, and portraits. I forget what those are called now. But in any case, I've changed where and how many of those you get, and a bunch of other changes were done. I think I added new trinkets. I rebalanced all the trinkets that I managed to see during the gameplay as well. Quirks got a 1-over. The bad quirks got worse. The good quirks got better. And there was one or two other things which I'm forgetting at the moment, but needless to say, it was pretty all-encompassing. I was very happy with the result. The LUNM mod is Doesn't make the game necessarily any easier or different. Well, actually, it does make it different, but it doesn't make it any easier or tougher. It just changes things around, as it were. A lot of creatures which used to do a lot of stress damage, which is to say that they hit you for large amounts, they don't do so, but instead, everything has a chance to put stress damage on your characters. And there's a few other things as well. Down below in the description of this video and every video here, I will put a link to both where you can download this on the Nexus mod site, on the Nexus' site, and also a link to the 2-hour video where I cover all the differences between the LUM mod and Darkest Dungeon as of version 1.1 of the LUM mod. Holy freaking crap, that was a lot to say. Oh, also no, if you, this is on the workshop, but I currently cannot update the version of LUM that's on the workshop. Steam doesn't recognize that I'm logged into it. I totally am. If I'm still having this trouble as of tomorrow, I'm going to have to open a ticket with either Steam or reach out to the developers at Red Hook, who I know are probably extraordinarily busy panicking about any other bugs or what have you that their DLC has, people are probably reporting about. But know that because I can't update the LUM mod with the workshop, if you have LUM installed through the workshop currently, it won't work. The game will just crash. Please disable the mod. I know that's kind of stinks because all the quirks or what have you and the characters will revert back to their normal version. In addition, if you had the Musketeer, I'm not even sure if you'll be able to log into your town. Right, because the LUM mod, I added the Musketeer for everyone to go grab her. She is part of the LUM mod, and God, I hope that works with the changes that Red Hook did recently to hide the Musketeer even more than they normally did. But hopefully it'll work. In any case, the mod should work when you download it from the Nexus mod site, though. So if you still want to use LUM and you're subscribed to it on the workshop, just unsubscribe to it from the workshop, grab it on the Nexus mod site, and follow the directions upon how to install it there, and it should work for you. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I'm going to quickly start and stop the recording so I saved what I've got so far. Okay, now I've tested my voice and everything I believe is coming out okay. I'll find out for sure when I watch this later, which I'm going to try to do before I upload this tomorrow. And I think we're good to go. Oh, one or two more things really quick. I'm going in blind. I've seen a few of the files, so I'm aware of a few things which exist. I've also seen a few changes to some of the creatures, and I like some of the ideas. I'm definitely going to have to take advantage of a thing or two. We'll get to some of these differences that I noticed when we get into the actual estate. Okay, I think we're good to go. So let's go ahead and start up a new campaign. Oh wow, Christian's Castle. Oh my goodness. Wow, he started that back when my mod was, before my mod was even released. Okay, so let's pick, I guess this spot is good enough. Oh, right. I don't want the Musketeer DLC downloaded because it should work with what I've put into the game already. So I want to make sure she's not present. I've always had a big amount of trouble getting the Musketeer to work for other people because I was a Kickstarter backer all that time ago. And I'm a mod maker. I'm one of the few who's done both, to my knowledge. And so because of this, I get access to the Musketeer files. But that's bad because I don't necessarily always know what Red Hook's doing to hide her information. They keep moving it all over the place, making it difficult to give her away. But I think she should work. We'll know for sure after like maybe 10 weeks, 10 or 11 weeks, if we don't ever see a Musketeer. Maybe she's not loading incorrectly. Oh, finally, if you want in on the estate, if you want a character named after you, and you want a particular type of character, and or you want a particular moveset, just let me know. Let me know in this video, if you could as well, as opposed to waiting down the line, if at all possible. And I will go ahead and do so. The only caveat is that I want one of every single class. So what this means is that if I have like 18 people that want Crusaders, that's not going to happen. So keep that somewhat in mind. Right, so we're playing totally with the Crimson Court. This was the expansion of the new zone. I have no idea what this is, so I guess there's new buildings that we can get. Oh yeah, in the game files they have something called blueprints. I'm assuming that's what that is. And the Flagellant is another hero class. This comes with the DLC for the Crimson Court though, so I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to have him. I know nothing about him. whatsoever. So when we first get him, I'll take a look at his abilities, and then together, and then I'll probably need to change him somewhat. If nothing else, to weaken him maybe a little bit, or strengthen him to be on par with the other classes that I have. And again, the Musketeer should be in my mod. I'm just not including the hero class automatically because I need to make sure that my mod files work in giving her away to everyone else. To my knowledge, no one else can get the Musketeer naturally. She was a exclusive reskin for Kickstarter backers. But I've added her to my mod, so she should be there. Okay, let's go ahead and start up the game. Oh, difficulty setting. Blood Moon? What is... we're going to pick Darkest. So, my mod was balanced with Darkest in mind. I have not tested my mod with the other two campaign modes. I do not even know if it will work. I don't know if it will be balanced whatsoever. And if you download the LUNM mod, I highly recommend you do not change the difficulty setting. By all means, do so. If you do it, let me know what you thought of it and if it worked or not. I haven't touched any files that would adjust the difficulty, though, so I don't know what those would do. The only thing I would like to do for my mod is, I know this has a time restriction. I'd love to find a way to get that into my mod normally in Darkest mode, making so that you fail if it takes you 106 weeks or something like that. Alright, well, we're good to go. Let's go ahead and select Darkest. Oh, right, we gotta name our estate. Oh, my goodness. So why don't we be unoriginal this time? We'll just call it Dagon. Dagoneth. Dagoneth? Dagoneth. Because I already have, like, Johannathale, and I'm not going to dump that one. This is a good one to test, because I have high-level characters and what have you. You guys don't care. All right! Let's do it.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient, pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path, you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
Yep, just waiting. Okay. Okay, everyone. Welcome to the game proper. So, because this is the LUNM mod, we are going to cover the differences that are before us, in particular, Reynold and Dismas. Go down to the comment section, and I'll have another link down there where you can click on that to be skipped ahead to where we actually just click over here and begin our adventure. So, Reynold has been altered from the base game. The Crusader, as well, has seen some changes. Reynold does not have Kleptomaniac. This is because of what Dismas has instead. I gave him Slow Draw, which is also worse than it is in the base game. In addition to having -4 speed on the first round, Slow Draw also has -4% to crit. We're going to cover the Crusader's combat skills and stats very briefly here as well. I will not cover the camping skills until the characters are in camp themselves. Smite? Oh, okay. First, all of the characters' moves have seen an accuracy reduction. I think this had like 90, maybe, originally. You can probably expect all these skills to have a 10% less chance to hit than they do in the base game. So other than that, Smite remains unchanged. Zealous Accusation remains unchanged. I think Stunning Blow is exactly the same as it is in the base game. Bulwark of Faith is a guard ability now. He guards a target, he gains a 10% prot buff, and the target he guards loses 2 stress. I'm sorry, regains 2 stress? It's a stress heal for 2. His battle heal is the same, Holy Lance is the same, and Inspiring Cry, I believe I lowered the stress this heals at rank 5. The Crusaders themselves have slightly less hit points than the normal Crusaders do, but they start with 10% prot. I believe these are all the changes, minus what is different with his camping skills. For our Highwayman here, Dismas has Known Cheat. Known Cheat has a 25% chance to loot and steal treasure curios. This used to be in... This used to be Kleptomaniac. Kleptomaniac was a 35% chance to steal and loot treasure curios. And also, Dismas cannot gamble. For his abilities, I believe his hit points are the same? Ah, it's been so long. Wicked Slice has a slight damage increase. Pistol Shot, I believe I reduced the damage penalty to this ability. Point Blank is unchanged. Grape Shot, I want to say this is unchanged as well. It might have a slightly higher crit chance. Tracking Shot not only buffs himself, but also marks the target that he struck. Duelist Advance remains unchanged from the base game to my knowledge, and I don't think I've changed Open Vein either very much. His camping skills were also altered. Okay, let's get going.
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead.
Why don't we turn off the tutorials? We shouldn't need them. Oh! It recognizes my flight stick being plugged in. Oh, wow! How about that? Oh, I should cover that, I guess, really quickly. Oh man, they've added a lot of differences. When a character is reduced to Death's Door, I stripped the Death's Door debuffs out of the game, so they won't suffer from such.
Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
I believe the Brigand Cutthroats gained. I gave them 15% prot at this level. The Cutthroat puts a dodge debuff on you. In the base game, I believe it is a bleed debuff. You'll note that we took 4 stress damage. Rank 1 creatures have I want to say it's a 70% chance to afflict you with 4 stress when they hit you. This goes for every single rank 1 creature in the game. Rank 3s have a 80% chance for 3 stress, and I want to say it's 83% chance for a rank 5 creature to afflict you with 4 stress.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Gold amounts have been changed in this version of the mod. Stacks of gold stack up to 1,000, I think 1,350 in my mod. In the base game, I believe it's 1,500. So you'll be taking back less gold per stack of gold.
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
Oh, that was lucky. A good job searching that tent, Dismas.
Leave nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places. An ambush. Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
Remember that every creature has a chance to add stress in my version of the mod, making the Fusilier a great stress increaser if the longer he continues to the longer you continue to leave him alive.
Grievous injury. Palpable fear.
Oh, right. I believe in the base game, I don't think the Brigand Bloodletter can crit as a rank 1 creature. He does do so in my version of this game, however. In addition, his Rain of Whips in the base game, I believe it causes 7 stress to everybody that it strikes. In my version of the mod, it does not do so, but it still has that chance to cause 3 stress. We're taking 4 stress because our light is dim.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Corpses. Yep. I have rebalanced the corpses slightly. They have less hit points in my mod than the base game, to my knowledge. Dismiss, we really need you to hit that.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Yes, I know I can take all, but I like taking all the items one by one and putting them in my inventory. Okay, nice. All done. The chest is obviously still trapped. Okay, then we'll just ignore it. If we had a key, we could safely unlock the chest. That has only ever happened once to me ever while playing the game did I get a key before I arrived at this spot. Anyway, we are done. Oh, I should have lowered the torch. No, we're good. All right, everyone. Let's get back to the town. Oh, God. Oh, that's bad. Oh, man.
Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
Okay. Something else I've done for these quirks is normally the quirk would have some sort of hint as to what it does. I've changed the quirks so that they tell you exactly what chance they have to inspect exactly a certain type of curio. So here, Hallowmania, we know that's a 40% chance to inspect treasure curios. Okay. Well, let's click on all the exclamation marks and just witness all this stuff.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Here he is, standing with that awesome-looking orb. Last time we saw an orb like that, well, besides this estate, was in Amnesia: Dark Descent.
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
Right. So if you want a character named after you, everyone, I will obviously do so, but the following restriction is in play. You must reach level... I want to say, well, we'll say level 1. In other words, I have to, after your first mission, at that point I will decide whether or not I am keeping that character. This is because as a level 0, if you make it to level 1 but you pick up an absolutely god-awful quirk, I may decide to abandon that character as opposed to keep them. I have no qualms about dismissing heroes that I find are too expensive to keep. However, otherwise, if I name a character after you, I will do everything possible to keep you alive. With that in mind, remember that the game is a bit random, and if you die, my apologies very much. However, if you die, I will not be making another character named after you either. I don't want to make like 15 lotteries, for example, all of which are occultists. No, that's not going to be what happens, unfortunately. Know that I will do my best to keep you alive, however. Oh, man. I hate even mentioning this stuff. Oh, interesting. I guess I have this unlocked for you at level 1. Not that it would really do much for you.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
Okay, let's take a look at our... Well, actually, no matter what, we need to take them. We don't have a choice.
What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield?
Okay, let's take a look at the... Well, let's do this now. So the stagecoach. So first off, I have changed the roster size. The first upgrade gives you up to 13 instead of the original 12. Overall, the barracks will give you more than it used to. Your maximum roster is, I want to say, 4 higher in this mod than it is in the base game. This was done mostly because of the Musketeer, because I liked having 2 of every character class, and the Musketeer just wouldn't let me do so. It's so much that when she's there, I couldn't have 2 of everyone. I think I did the math correctly there. Know, though, that the stagecoach is slightly more expensive to level it up than it was in the base game, though. So, the most important thing we need to do is just constantly upgrade the stagecoach network until we get 4 heroes in each week. This is the most important upgrade. It is always the most important upgrade. You should always do this whenever you get a chance to do it, which is to say, immediately upon reaching town.
Word is traveling. Ambition is stirring in distant cities. We can use this.
And there we go. This way, if something bad happens, we can just dismiss all of these heroes. Okay, well, let's take a look at these heroes really quick. We'll cover them. Heads up, everyone, that if you don't want to hear me talk about the differences that I remember between this mod and the base game, again, go down to the comment section. I'll have a timestamp down there so you can skip ahead. So, oh, right. So, Stress Eater in the base game, if I remember, it's 100% food consumed if your stress is above 50. I decided to lower it to 25 to make it more likely this would affect you. And Will Adventurer. I think that's the same? I think that's the same. It might be minus 10% in the base game. I can't remember. Noxious Blast. I want to say that this does more blight damage per round than it does in the base game, and the damage is slightly higher. Plague Grenade, I want to say the same thing. It does more blight damage. And it goes up, I want to say, I think these go up 1 blight damage every single upgrade that you take them. Blinding Gas is the same. Oh, again, though, remember that the accuracy on all these skills has been changed. It is lower in this game than it is in the base game. I really wanted you to think about locking quirks or taking accuracy trinkets with you. Her Incision has the bleed resist as well. I think it was Destruction 42K who had that idea. She has the same, I believe, debuff that Dismas has on his Open Vein ability for her Incision. Battlefield Medicine is exactly the same as it is in the base game. Her Emboldening Vapors not only adds damage and speed, it also clears stun. I was tempted to lower the damage percentage by 5% per level, because that clear stun is amazing on her. And her Disorienting Blast is very different than the base game. I think in the base game this is a Disorient, it's a Shuffle plus a Stun. In my game, this is a debuff and does some damage. Every rank of Disorienting Blast adds a new effect to it, making it slightly better than the previous version. I think on rank 2, it adds a small blight effect. At rank 3, it shuffles the target. At rank 4, it puts a debuff on the target to make them less resistant to blight effects. And then there's... I don't remember if there's anything at rank 5 for it. And of course her camping skills are a little different, but we'll cover them later on when we go camping. And I don't think I changed her stats at all, to my knowledge. For the Vestal, she has 5% prot, and she has very slightly less hit points. I think she has 1 less hit point to make up for that. Oh, well, there's Guilty Conscience. In the base game, this was only a chance to inspect worship cures. I think it said, like, carries the guilt of years on her or what have you. So this is the 3% chance to inspect worship cures was what it had in the base game. I'm just letting you know what it does. And as you can see, she suffers more stress damage, and she heals less stress as well. And there's Warren's Phobe. She has Early Riser, which is fantastic as long as we can keep the torch above 75. And Wheeled Explorer. Excellent scouting chance in the Wheeled. Looks like these two are together, and they really want to be in the Wheeled. Her Mace Bash adds a slight prot debuff, as you can see. Judgment remains unchanged. Dazzling Light is unchanged. Healing Grace, I want to say this... I think this is unchanged, but it might heal slightly less damage at the higher rank. Party Comfort can be used at the second spot. This way you can have a Vestal in slot 2, and she can still use both of her healing abilities if you want her to. Illumination adds a small bit of stress recovery for the Vestal. It's 2 points at rank 1 through 3, and goes up to 3 points at rank 3 and 4. I viewed her as being happy, or it would calm her to be invoking the Holy Light down on enemies. And I don't think I changed Hand of Light at all. I think that's exactly the same. Okay, well, we're good to go, I think. I don't think we have any trinkets or... Oh! 1 second, everyone. 1 second. Right. So, as a Kickstarter backer, I have access to the Crest of the 1100. A fantastic Kickstarter crest, and I'm very glad to have it. It's the only trinket that I'll be using the cheat codes for. It's not really a cheat code, because I was a Kickstarter backer, so they released this to us. I will not be using any other codes, however, to get me any other backer trinkets. This is the only one I will take, and I feel that I'm within my right to go ahead and claim it. Awesome proof that I was a Kickstarter backer a long time ago. Very glad to have gotten this game for everyone else to play it. Fantastic game. Okay, well, I'm not going to equip it yet, because I don't want to lose it. So, although we could give it to you. You know what? We'll give it to Reynold at the moment. We'll start him up with it. Okay, well, let's get going.
A mecca of madness and morbidity. Your work begins.
Oh, you'll be fine, Reynold. Don't you worry about it. Okay. So, this is the starting quest. This quest is fixed. You will always get this quest. I think the rewards are always the same, and that you get crests and gold from it. It's always 90% of all rooms, and the room layout is exactly the same, and you fight the same creatures in the same exact spots. I would love to be able to learn how Red Hook did that so I can make my own custom dungeons, but I will have to wait till later. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and bring the other two. So, Nivelle, I think she can go into spot 3. Actually, no, she has to go to spot 4. No, it is spot 3, because you want to be in spot 4 or 3. It doesn't matter. We'll do this then. Okay. Well, let's get going.
The cost of preparedness, measured now in gold, later in blood.
Yes, you see a new inventory item up there, everyone. Laudanum. This is used, from what I saw in the game files, to counteract stress dots, or damage over time effects in the game. Now, because I'm using my monsters, the only creature in the base game that I'm aware of that has a stress dot, which is currently in my mod, which is to say that that still has it, is the champion level Radiant Mode added these 4 new creatures to the game, 1 for every single area. There might actually be more than that, but to my knowledge, there's 4. The one inside the cove is a skeleton pirate, and it can put this nasty stress dot on you. Laudanum would counteract that dot. Now, I plan to try to change a few creatures to get more creatures to have these stress dots. I'm going to take a look and see what Red Hook did to the creatures, and maybe add this effect to a few more things. But during this adventure, what we're about to do, no other creatures have that effect. As such, I don't really feel like I need to purchase Laudanum. You'll also note that we have a little more supplies than we do in the base game. Every single hero brings their own one supply with them. Holy water is brought by the Vestal and the Crusader, bandages by the Highwayman, and the anti-venom by our Plague Doctor. Now this is a light dungeon. I think we'll bring 5? We could bring 6 torches. I'll bring... Oh, do I want to bring 1 or 2 shovels? We'll bring 2 shovels. I can't remember what this dungeon layout is. I'll bring enough food for 3 food checks. I think we'll bring a single key with us. And 1 medicinal herb. And I think that'll do. Okay, let's get started. I heard Red Hook added introduction screens to each area, which is to say when we zone in, we'll be in some unique looking... There'll be a unique looking background that I have not seen before for this place. That looks awesome. I really like the entrance to this place. All right, let's go explore it. Oh, to my knowledge, the ruins here are a series of forts, rich estates, and townhouses long abandoned. This is not the Darkest Dungeon. This is not the Ancestors' estate itself. Okay, well, let's get going. We'll go in this room with just this kind of light. Oh, I should be talking about this. So I decided to use the grape shot to put a little bit of damage on both of them. This one's the weaker one, so I'm gonna try to Noxious Blast it. If we do 3 damage, the blight effect will kill it when it activates.
Slowly.
Oh.
Gently. This is how a life is taken.
It's 4 damage. Stunned it because Dismiss is going last.
Another one falls. These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Okay, well, let's search this. So if the curios haven't changed, and to my knowledge they have not, then this is a chance to blight us, I believe. Red Hook has done some manipulation of the weights for treasure in the game, and I decided that I was going to move them over when I updated the mod today, mostly because of the sheer amount of work it would take to try to keep my own there. They've added 1 or 2 more items you can find in the game as well, like an ancestral idol and a tapestry. I don't yet know if this has unbalanced the economy I set up in the mod a long time ago. Hopefully it hasn't. I know I lowered their worth by half, and I actually lowered the worth of the Trapezians by 1,500 gold now. They were worth 5,000, now they're 3,500. Still an incredible amount of money, but I needed to lower it.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Because the cost of everything in my mod is lower than the base game. I don't want there being too much money floating around. We're not gonna kill her. See if I can weaken this guy to the point that this will kill him. I need to hit him for 4 damage, though. Oh, this will definitely do it if we hit. The blight will kill it.
Executed with impunity.
Stressful Incantation in my mod can crit. Even a rank 1 creature can have that effect crit. I think in the base game, that has a chance to mark you, but I'm not sure. It has been ages since I've last fought an unmodded cultist witch. Wow, for over a year and a half.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Good, she's dead when she goes. So we can go ahead and... let's use Emboldening Vapors to get a buff on Dismas.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Because this should last 2 more rounds. And if there's a battle... oh, 3 rounds. If there's a battle in here, he'll still carry that over. Let's use the torch at least once. If it was up to me, everyone, I would change this buff as well in my mod. I would take away the plus monster surprised for venturing in bright light. Okay. I think this way requires holy water, and I definitely want the treasure chest. Let's go this way first. Thank you, Reynold. That's a 40% chance with his Halomania.
A fortune, waiting to be spent.
He won't steal the stuff. He will obviously inspect it. It was just a sack, so that doesn't matter overly much. Wow, we're getting lucky by surprising them. So we have a chance to be surprised instead. Let's Disorienting Blast. And debuff him. This is going to be awkward. We're going to definitely take damage here.
Obliterated.
Nice. Pulled him up a rank. Thank goodness. Woo! Oh, I always wait for that to crit every single time. Oh my goodness. Why don't we... pistol shot. Oh, darn it! Darn it! I was supposed to hit. Can I kill it?
Press disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
Only 2 damage with that. I have to increase the damage that does by like 1 point at least.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Okay. Who wants to be healed of their stress? Let's leave that here at the moment. Oh, there's a trap down this hallway. There's a trap down this hallway, and we failed to check. Let's use a torch, then. It's the 3rd spot right here.
Ambushed by foul invention.
Oh, Dismas, give Reynold a chance to recover from the trap, please. There's another trap down this way, in the same exact spot. The spot 1 more ahead of us here. I want the chest. let's start with a disorienting blast. Oh, you resisted it. That's an awkward shame.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
Yeah, the narrator now speaks when certain heals happen as well. I really like that change, that addition. Resisting everything today. And we're bleeding. Oh, God! That's what I was really worried about.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Let's cure that light effect. A bleed effect.
Soothed. Sedated. Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
I'm doing too good on the accuracy, but hey, well, whatever. We're probably going to win this one. Ah! We have to kill her in 2 rounds so we get the delay mechanic happening. She's marked.
Destroyed. Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Sapphires are worth 1,250 in my mod, up from 1,000, just as a heads up. Because they're harder to find them. I would normally never take sapphires. I'd always grab emeralds and onyxes over rubies and sapphires. So I made that change to make them more enticing to keep. I'm not going to use the key here because we can use the key further on up ahead. So we'll just open this one. Okay, we're going down here. Oh, it's a backpack. Oh, thanks, Dismiss. There goes whatever this had in it. Oh, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you so much, Dismiss. A boon at last. Yep, well, that's the gambler quirk for you. Be fine. Please go up into the room. Oh, well. Darn it. Oh, that sucks. Well, what do you guys think of the mod so far? Right? Even though the characters are a little stronger, and their abilities might be considered a little stronger as well, I think I found it... I think it's pretty fair. Like, we're still leaving the dungeon stressed out, and to my recollection, when I did the calculations, we actually leave these dungeons with more stress in my mod than in the base game, even though I lowered the big stress hits. Okay, now we want you to heal. And then we can use...
Soothed. Sedated.
Soothed, sedated. That's interesting that he'll... I guess he says that whenever anyone is healed at any point. Now we have one single torch, and we're going to use it right before the final room. Please don't take this, Dismiss. This is fine. This is fine. Everything is fine. I'm perfectly fine. What's the word? How do you say it again?
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
I am fine with the situation it is currently unfolding. Right, that's right, we can only eat...
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
You can only eat 4 food per character until you have another battle, I believe. Yes, and it does nothing to stop food checks either.
And now, the darkness holds dominion. Black as death.
I forgot all about Stress Eater. Okay, Well, let's move to the next room. This will be the toughest fight in this place. It's all skeletons. I think it's a guard, a soldier, a courtier, and an arbalist. We also have a blockade in the way going there, if I recall this hallway. His speed and damage lowered. Woo! Let's stun. Oh, or not. That stinks. That 5% pot's coming in handy. Oh God! They're focusing on her. Oh, 1 hit point left. That's a shame.
Formation is broken. Maintain the offensive. Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
I want the Arbalist pulled forward so we can't take any more hits on my Vestal. Looks like this is in the bag. Unless something horribly wrong happens, like several crits in a row, we've got this.
A momentary abatement.
Oh, forgot they can drag her forward by knocking this miss back. I should actually fight them, but to this day, I'm not sure if when you end the quest, I think the lower life you have, the better chance you have of getting a negative quirk. This game. It's good. It's good. 5 turns against these guys. Holy crap.
A death by inches.
Sure. Oh, wow. Nice.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Always put your light out.
Darkness closes in, haunting the hearts of men.
When searching the last item in a level, there's no reason not to do this. It gives you a chance of rolling from the darkness table.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Okay, well, equipment in my mod is not worth anything upon return. Whatever you spend, you lose, basically, when it comes to gold for your provisions. So, we'll just vendor this stuff and we're good. Let's complete the quest. Nice. That was a very good first quest. We did take lots of stress, though. We have 3 people who need stress recovery. Faded. That's wonderful on you. I will try to lock that when I get a chance. Quick draw. Wow. Nice. The opposite of slow draw. Ooh, dismiss. Light sensitive. That's rough on you. My God, stop with the negative quirks, Reynold! Can't visit the brothel. Chance to steal torture curios and bleed resistance. Torture curios are things like, I believe the Iron Maiden counts as one, for example, and the throwing dagger rack in the Warrens is another one of those things. I may be dismissing Reynold at this rate. He just might not be worth keeping.
Once, our estate was the envy of this land.
Okay. Well, everyone, I think we'll stop here. And actually, let's visit all these places. We'll cover them very quickly, but there'll be no other adventure in this video.
The bellows blast once again. The forge stands ready to make weapons of war.
So, the blacksmith, I've lowered the deeds and crests costs of this location. There's not much difference any longer between my mod and the base game. My mod used to cost hundreds of deeds less, but Red Hook changed that right before the game went live some time ago. It's also cheaper to purchase upgrades here for your heroes. Significantly cheaper to purchase upgrades for your heroes.
Make no mistake, we will face ever greater threats. Our soldiers must be ready.
The same holds true for the guild. It's cheaper to level this place. And it's also cheaper to purchase upgrades past level 1.
The cobwebs have been dusted, the pews set straight. The Abbey calls to the faithful.
In my mod, stress recovery does not cost more the higher ranked the hero is. It's always the same. So the Cloister is always the cheapest and heals the least, Transept is next, and Penance Hall is a final amount. I would have liked to have changed my mod such that the more people you assign to a place, the more expensive it becomes. This would also tie in nicely with the Caretaker and the town crier visiting places, because it would be more expensive, but I cannot do so in the mod, unfortunately.
Fresh kegs, cards, and curtained rooms promise solace to the weary and broken alike.
Okay. Well, we're going to stop here, everyone. When we come back, we'll log in, we'll do our assignments, we'll see who's on the stagecoach, we'll cover the differences of those heroes, and then we'll go on another adventure. And I'll see you guys then. Thank you all for watching, and take care, everyone.